what I start with, this might be a bit of an older chain, it might be a bit more updated. Slate plugins, $15 a month. Just get the virtual channel in, and then just some like general light EQ, quite a bit more on the brighter end here at 12k. Got like 2.5, 2.8 there. Just like kind of that. That's kind of the EQ bit here. So just cut off. It's just like I'm not really doing anything that fantastic, but this is a quick overview. If I had proper vocals, I would show you how I do it. Sometimes I use this. Oh yeah, just to remember, just because I've got all these plugins on doesn't mean that I use them all the time. It really depends on the quality of the vocal that I get. Male or female, it will vary. General voices will vary depending on EQ. But I can show you quick techniques. I use this vocal rider as a quick win when I can't be bothered to automate the volume of the vocal. It's kind of lazy, right? But because you're on a quick turnaround, effectively because I'm pitching, the final vocal won't be used, but you want it to sound good quickly because of deadlines. I will use this if I can be bothered, and most, like 80% of the time, I will not use this and I will automate it, but sometimes I just can't be asked, right? So then you got the de-esser, which is really important. You want to cut out all the sibilants. You don't want it to be too sensitive. You want it about, I do it at about 30. This is all included with the Steven Slate stuff, but I use the sensitivity about 30%. The reason being is, if you turn this up, if you turn the sensitivity up of the sibilants too high, it ends up making the singer sound like they've got a lisp because you're cutting off that high frequency, and it becomes really apparent when they're saying stuff like words with S in. Instead of going S, they're like, you know, like it would sound like a lisp. So that's one thing you want to watch out for. Generally, I have a couple of verbs and delay. My delays and vocals, I think, need a lot of work. I need to do a bit more, but ultimately I would have a plate vocal, like a big one, and then a shorter one, and then you kind of blend them together. But the next one is this TDR Nova, which is a free multi-band compressor. Now, this is a cool technique that I learned. What I did is I paid attention to the frequencies around the 1K to 2K area. And as you can see, what I've done at 1427 frequency range, I turn the gain up, but what I do is I compress that narrow band. And what you do is you solo the band so it's quiet, and then what you do is you play the track and you listen out for the vocal, and what happens is you listen out for the part of the vocal that provides the most clarity in the words being sung, compresses and loudens the pronunciation of the word, because you're soloed that frequency where it sounds really clear. You compress it and then you raise the volume, and that way it provides much more clarity in the vocal. This varies massively, obviously, like from female to male to different types of males to different types of females. Everyone's voice kind of kicks out different frequency, so what you do is you have to listen to every mix and listen to where it sounds clearest. Now, this is something I would recommend. I use it on everything. It's the CLA2. This is a very, very good compressor. I feel that it is an invisible compressor, so it compresses, but it's very invisible in the way that you can't hear it's there, so it just makes the vocal sound a lot more natural. Oh, bit of revival. Yeah, so after the compressor, sometimes it takes off the shine in the top end. So what this does is just saturates colors. Either the shimmer is the high end frequencies, thickness is obviously the lows. So yeah, I just add a bit of that. Yeah, just cleaning up general. I turn these on sometimes if I feel like it's brought up the low mid frequency. Sometimes the compressor does that as well. And then just another compressor lightly applied to round off the sound.